Hello everyone, thank you for coming. I'm Benjamin Yoder, here today to talk to you about my Japan trip that I did in 2023, April 2023. I was originally mentioning I was going to do a stream for this, and unfortunately I just ran into a ton of technical issues and a lot of headaches, and I ultimately decided that we're just going to keep it super chill, super straightforward. We're not going to have multi-camera setup where we're jumping between things. It's going to be window capture that is not cropped properly and things like that. And then it's going to be me physically moving some stuff over here and showing you guys. So if you're expecting some like edited vlog thing, that's not what you're getting here. It's going to be very straightforward. So please expect expect very little with that in that regard. However, I thought it'd be fun to go through some videos and some images and then show some physical things that I got as well. I'm not going to do this chronologically like last time. I think this took too long. So I'll probably just pick and choose things that I feel like talking about. My stuff's a little disorganized here, so I might have to hop between stuff. I may edit some cuts between things depending on how all that goes. But it's going to be a really kind of chill thing for the most part. So, it was 2 weeks there, and I really didn't have a lot of plans going to Japan this time around. I did decide to kind of stay in Tokyo, which maybe slightly regret, but I don't regret what I actually did while I was hanging out in Japan. And basically what it ended up being was a lot of day trips off to some places. I tried to do a good mix of seeing nature stuff, getting involved with doujin event stuff, some video game stuff. I didn't really do as much video game shopping this time, I feel like. I ended up doing a little more touristy shopping. I'm not going to really show that stuff because A, a lot of it already sent off to people, but B, as more personal gifts, and I don't really want to show that as a stream thing personally. And in general, some of these videos also I kind of showed that I tried to make this trip a little bit more family oriented in terms of communicating with my family and showing them stuff. So I really didn't consider it from a showing you guys kind of thing much. So we might skip over some stuff if I don't want to try to sit there and navigate it, or there might be some video stuff I might need to jump around just in case with that kind of stuff. For this trip specifically, there was a handful of things I really wanted to do. One thing was go to those doujin events I mentioned earlier. I went to 2 doujin events, one being a Pretty Cure event, one being a Game Legacy event. No real videos or pictures. They do not want you to take videos and pictures, so we're going to talk about those a bit more vaguely. I had some games that I played in the arcade, so I'm going to talk about those a little bit, but I'll probably do more reviewy kind of videos for those. And then we're going to go through some just pictures and videos of probably just various places. And I'll tell some stories and stuff and things like that, right? So, first and foremost, I guess one thing we can talk about is the doujin event, since I mentioned those already. Like I said, not many pictures for anything like this, but we have, and I physically could show you this as well, honestly. So maybe I'll go grab that here in a second. But, essentially, this doujin event, it was based around, not specifically Pretty Cure. I think it's called Heroine Mix or something like that. And it featured a bunch of various different, franchises based around female heroines, lady heroines, whatever you want to call them, girls. But so it was basically that kind of event. Mostly Pretty Cure stuff, though. And honestly, I do not have a lot of things to say about Pretty Cure itself. But if you don't know, these kind of events typically I feel are not super flashy for the most part. If you ever been to a artist alley in the US, it kind of feels like that, although sometimes it feels a little more, even more I guess you'd put it conservative in the sense that there's usually not a lot of stuff around the table. It's just kind of here's the table, here's the books you're selling and things like that. So let me go grab the packet of stuff that I got from there. Okay, so I think this is pretty much everything. It's pretty light. I really didn't have any real personal interest in this event, honestly. It was something that I just kind of felt I should try just as something to do, and it would be interesting to kind of go to something like this. And honestly, for Game Legacy, it would be kind of nice to know what the process was. So if you don't know, when you go to these doujin events, I mean, I'm sure it varies, but when you go to that brochure I showed you earlier, you buy one of these typically, and that's kind of both your ticket to get in, and also it's a way to get information of where the booths are located and things like that, right? And there's also some ads and stuff in here as well. So typically kind of black and white and pretty, cheaply produced for the most part. based off like what I've seen at the very least. So it's nothing crazy, but it's just like an event specific thing, and like what we got to add in here for Clip Studio or something like that too. So usually it's just specifically for that kind of thing, as far as I understand. But I did go ahead and get a couple books here just because I was kind of curious. One was actually a Bomber Girl book here, Jam and Jungle. And, I don't really know what the usual kind of, and I don't want to show a lot because, this is someone's doujin book. So let me see if there's any kind of interesting panels here to show off. But I just kind of like the look of it. I'm not a Bomber Girl fan, really. I kind of have like a vague interest in Bomber Girl. And there are like a couple characters that I think have nice designs or whatever. I don't know, there's a girl with punching gloves, like them in a boxing ring for whatever reason. So but I kind of like the almost like, I don't know what it's called, there's like this weird 90s toy kind of like blackboard thing where you had like colored pens that you could kind of push against it. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. But yeah, like sometimes, like especially with like doujin events, these things are going to be in Japanese. I'm not going to really know what they are. And I kind of just like grab stuff and just kind of hope it works out for the most part, where I think you're kind of maybe intended to like look at them first and figure out if it's something you enjoy. But I kind of like just kind of picking it up and seeing what happens. And that was one of the ones I picked up. Speaking of the picking up and seeing what happens, though, I bought this book. It was originally going to be for a friend, but then I kind of realized what it was later when I looked at it later. And it's this one here, which I did not look at the cover very closely. You guys might be very aware of what's happening here. There are a lot of characters getting hurt and clothes tearing. And so, like, what I think this is basically is, and in some ways this is, like, kind of fascinating. It is a book that I think kind of goes over, like, the history of, like, Riona and, like, anime. So if you don't know, that's, like, kind of, like, a sexual interest in kind of lady characters suffering kind of thing, right? So, I didn't realize that's what that was. I was like, oh, there's like Yuna on the front, or like, a lot of 90s characters. Like, let me pick that up for my friend. Did not give a close enough look to it. And then I picked it up and realized like, oh, that's what that is. So kind of fascinating, but I would not have bought it if I realized what it was, but it's an interesting kind of thing. I also just kind of picked up these ads for some events that were going on around there. Honestly, I felt a little bad taking these because I'm not going to be able to make it to these events, but I thought they were like super cute art and things like that. So I was like, let me just grab these. So I grabbed those little advertisements for the different events. There was this one table where you have I don't speak any Japanese, right? And this lady was trying to tell me, I think she was trying to tell me she had like an original story about Pretty Cure characters that she wanted to show. And I think that this might be a book that's about those characters, like an actual like character drawing book. The other one was like a novel that she was trying to like get me interested in. Again, I don't know anything about Pretty Cure, so like I have no real interest, and like just trying to figure out what she's trying to say to me was like a whole other thing. But thankfully, I actually met somebody at the event who was from Hong Kong, and they could speak a little Japanese. So later, when I passed by her booth, he went and kind of like interpreted what was happening, kind of thing, right? Which I appreciate it. But I thought it was kind of like a cute thing of just like basically, if you don't know, Pretty Cure is kind of like, I guess, if you want to boil it down to like the most baseline mainstream comparison, you call it like a Sailor Moon thing, right? And the characters, I believe, change with different seasons and series, but they always have, I think, like 5-ish characters based around, different colors and things like that. So I thought it was kind of cute to, what I assume these characters are, make like kind of original versions of those and kind of like come up with your own idea for what that was. So I thought that was like a cute idea. Again, I don't know anything about Pretty Cure, so maybe this other book is something that is like actual characters, but I think they're original. So that was like kind of a fun thing. And then at the end of the event, they have essentially like, I don't really know how this works, but there's I think every artist gets like one of these like, I guess you'd call it like, what's it called? I'm not gonna show you the other side yet, but it has paper on the other side. It's like a little slab. I forget what they're called. Somebody told me what they were called recently. And they can go ahead and like draw some art on there. And then so at the end of the event, there's like a little, game that you play where people gather around and you go and you play rock, paper, scissors with each other, basically. And how that works is basically they pull up somebody's art and then they're like, who wants to try to get this art? And then people stand up, and if they want to play, they play rock, paper, scissors as against the guy who's like auctioning it essentially at first. And then when it gets down to like a certain number of people, those last few people play rock, paper, scissors against each other, basically. And so, yeah, it's just like this long thing, and like, because there's a lot of tables, it was a very long process. So I played rock, paper, scissors for a few of them. I lost most of them, which is fine. Again, I don't feel too bad because like Pretty Cure is not something that I know anything about. So honestly, I feel maybe a little guilty taking them, honestly, and I try not to like play for any that I didn't think was like particularly good or like particularly would be interesting for me. However, there were a few that just did not get any interest from people, and there's like 5 or so. One of them was actually like the what's her name? It's like the Twinbee girl from Bomber Girl, and I was like, if I were really to pick the one I was like most interested in, I would have picked that one, basically. But this one just like spoke to me for some reason. I don't know why. But nobody else wanted it, so I had to play rock, paper, scissors for against anyone for this. But it's I don't know. I assume Pretty Cure characters, and like there's just something about it that I kind of like that it's like kind of awkward looking a little bit, and but I also think that like I've really kind of gotten an appreciation for kind of like off amateurish feeling art, like because it's like. I think there's a lot to be said about like when you are a creator of something, right? And you create something and it doesn't like, if you like compare this to like actual Pretty Cure, right? It's not quite where it needs to be, but you're like still willing to put yourself out there with that stuff. And like, so in a lot of ways, I feel like this represents like a really like brave thing to do, right? In some ways, it's just like my art's not, you know, Pretty Cure level, but I still care so much about this, I will go ahead and try this and do my best and make something like this. So nobody wanted this, unfortunately, but I thought it was cute, so I took it. So that is it, and I'm kind of glad this is the one I got because I do feel like it's a good encompassment of I think what I feel about like Artist Alley and things like that. Of just like I really appreciate like people's passion they put into these kind of things. And, you know, there is actual nice, like very well, like, maybe, I don't want to say nice or well made, but like professional level kind of art kind of thing. But at the same time, like, I think like just somebody putting themselves out there like that is like, I think kind of a nice thing. It's kind of weird to say it that way though. So if they were able to speak English and they did find this, I would be a little worried about how I worded that, but I'm gonna just kind of take a bet that maybe they won't see it. So yeah, so that's a Pretty Cure event. The other event I went to is one called Game Legacy. So let me go ahead and grab the stuff for that because I don't really have any pictures for that. Oh, there's one picture I do want to show you, but we can talk about that in a bit later. All right, so Game Legacy was an event. Volume 2 is an event that happened in Nagoya. And it's the only reason I went to Nagoya, really, was to go to this event. And it's a very small doujin event. It's about 3 conference rooms big, about maybe 12 tables in each room. So maybe like 30 to 40 tables of people selling stuff kind of thing. So here's the actual booklet for it. It's a very cute looking little booklet here. But yeah, so, you know, same deal here. This is like what you buy to like get in, and you can basically get like a list of people who are participating, right? And like, this is actually a really interesting artist. We were like, I don't know anything about whatever that series is, Darkstalkers, is that what it's called? But it's like a series of pictures that was like that Dracula-looking guy and Morgan doing, like, being in a bunch of like lovey-dovey relationship situation stuff. So I thought that was kind of cute. But yeah, so it's like an event that was mostly kind of full of fairly niche franchises when it came to art. Also people who created games that were there as well. We'll talk a little bit about those. Yeah, so it's like more niche. So like, you know, one of the problems with me going like Artist Alley here in the US is that, you know, a lot of the stuff is like, if you're getting video game stuff there, it's going to be like Genshin Impact and like 3 other video games, right? Zelda stuff, things like that. Maybe some Final Fantasy 15 stuff if you're lucky, kind of thing, I feel like. And so like having a smaller event like this that is more focused on niche stuff is like not really something we get in the US, right? So I thought this would be a cool little event to go to. And, you know, for the most part, you know, a lot of these things I don't know that much about still. But, you know, I did find like this Yuna book that's like 30 years after or whatever that is. So it's actually like an actual novel in there. There's not a lot of art in there, but it was a cute little thing, and it was fairly cheap as well. And then there's like this PC Engine book. Honestly, I can't remember off the top of my head what this one looks like on the inside, but I think it is like mostly text as well. And then there's like the Sega 60 book as well. So Sega, if you don't know, like, I mean, Sega's popular in Japan. I mean, they definitely are popular. But I think it depends on like certain eras of Sega. And so like if you see it like on the Sega Genesis and things like that, usually like the Master System and Genesis stuff is like not as well covered. But you know, this is like kind of a niche Sega book thing. So there's like a Wonder Mega in here. I forget if that came out in the US or not. So there's like some fun stuff in here. And there's a lot of text in here too, but it's like really well put together. What was I looking at earlier that caught my eye? Oh, there's like a love Rub Rabbits kind of a little thing there. It's like a Phantasy Star write-up in here. Definitely a lot of like text articles, but it's like very well put together. So I think this is pretty nice. Some kind of Shining Force thing in there too as well. So that was a pretty cute book in there as well. Some Space Harrier comic at the back here. Ooh, we got Space Harrier Broody going on there. Anyways. So there's that thing there. That was kind of the book kind of stuff. This was actually interesting. This is a group called Retro Gig. There are these little cards, like QR codes on them. You might be able to scan them, or you might not be able to. I can probably get you the links, though, if you need to. And these were little mini games, or like little flash games or something like that, kind of, or whatever. I don't know what the platform is, but little games is like a Tamagotchi thing. And you can go on a website. This one's kind of weird. It's like, I think it's like a Turkish restaurant adventure game where you get like, or curry restaurant. I don't know. You like go to another country that's definitely not Japan, and you're like are navigating around. It's kind of creepy to some extent, honestly. But these are like some cute little things. But they have these games, but they don't have these playable at the event. They just give you these cards and you can play them. I mean, they're free on the website, so you can play them. But they were showing off. I don't know if I have any kind of paper for it, unfortunately. I believe a Twitter feed has stuff about it. If we have it, I'll mention it later. But they basically had that's something else. Like in a little event that was like made for kids, as far as I could tell, or a little game they made for kids, and I was trying to understand it. Like it was something about like kids cafeteria game, which I'm gonna guess is probably not the proper translation for it. But like it seemed like a game that was made for kids, like these little 2 cat ninjas who like jumping and attacking each other or attacking like bosses, kind of like an auto runner with an attack kind of thing. So cute little thing, and they tried their best to communicate with me, which I super appreciate. You know, you always feel like kind of a jerk when you show up there and you're like, sorry, I do not speak any Japanese. Hello, I am American. Can you tell me where the bathroom is? That kind of stuff, right? So unfortunately this thing got damaged a little bit, but some nice art for that. I think it's like a what's that series called? Not Samurai Warriors. That fighting game. I don't remember. There's one character that I know that I'm like, yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Whatever that thing is. Whatever. It's like a Neo Geo fighting game. Samurai Warriors, something like that. I don't know. There's like weird, like I have a bunch of stupid video game knowledge, and then like so much like just random stuff I should know about that's like niche random things. Like I just completely slipped my mind. So yeah, I don't know. This is like a little I think 2D platformer game. I have not tried to set this up on my PC yet, but I played it there. Action game. Oh my god, Ryo. Testo. I don't know if that is what that says. See, if you can read some kana there, don't Don't make fun of me. So I think that's pretty much it, though. So, you know, I also bought some stuff for other people there. So that stuff got kind of sent off. But the one other thing there that was really interesting, and I need to get the other thing that's for that, is, and probably the kind of the main draw for me, honestly, in going to that event in the first place, is there was a group there called Nuts and Milk. If you don't know, Nuts and Milk Famicom, I think I don't know if the NES version came out here, but like there's a Famicom version of it at least. 8-bit game. I don't know anything about Nuts and Milk, but this group was like, we're naming our table after the video game Nuts and Milk. And to my surprise, it's more than just they named their table after Nuts and Milk and had Nuts and Milk merchandise. They have a store named Nuts and Milk, and it's a bakery. Not only a bakery like used game, not even a really used game store. It's like a used or old game hangout place. But anyways, there's these like cute little characters that they had that were like cookies with like little pretzel feet and things like that. And I actually went to it later. It's like in I think it's in Shibuya or Shinjuku, one of those places. Let me pull up the stuff there. And it's like this lady, maybe like in her late 40s or whatever, and it's like a little like dessert bar thing. So like, you know, it is not very English friendly, I will say. Like I ordered, I think it's like a raspberry cream thing here, and some apple juice, mainly because those are the only things I could really read on the menu. But, you know, there's like some LCD games back here, and I played some of those. I had like no real thoughts on those. And she was like talking to me a good chunk of the time, but I feel so bad. Cause, like I understood maybe like 1 to 5% of anything she says, but you know, she kept it pretty up to date. He has a lot of like games on the walls. Again, none of these are really for sale as far as I can tell, but there's like some after kind of market games as well. So it seems like she's like a part of this community of people. That was like a little mascot that was like one of the tables on the Game Legacy thing. I don't know if that's a mascot of the Game Legacy event or something else. So, you know, there's a lot of cute art here. And she has like a little TV down here as well. Let me see. Can I get over to that thing? There's like a little TV down there. And like, I did not play anything on the table. I think she really wanted me to. And I feel so bad because I was like really nervous, and I kind of more or less just like up and left after I was done eating. And I was like, thank you, goodbye. But you know, there's a little table down here if you want to play something. And she had like bins of games and things like that too. So really cute place. And, you know, I kind of, you know, there's the menu over there. So there's like a drink menu. I didn't get all the menu though. I kind of very, very hastily took some pictures. I think this is a better look at the wall right there. Yeah. Bunch of art on the wall here. So, but it's a really cute little place, and it just has baked goods that you can buy and eat there. You can just kind of hang out. Supposedly, it's also a used clothing store. I did not take pictures of the clothes, but you can kind of see them there on the right. But yeah, it's just like a cute little thing, honestly. And like, you know, it seemed like a nice lady at the very least, as far as I could tell. And, you know, generally, I think it went well enough, considering I could not really understand most of anything. But it was like a really fun little thing. But the thing I ended up getting, let me go grab it. So the thing I ended up getting here, and there's like a Nuts and Milk bag, in addition to those cookies, is a Nuts and Milk tote bag. So there's like a little cupcake kind of thing that wraps it up. I have already opened this, so it was wrapped a lot nicer when I first got it, but I proceeded to, and I think it's like the mascot. It's like a cat that's like has hamburgers, so it's like kind of like the McDonald's cat or whatever. And there were some tote bags with him on it, but I got the one with the lady on it. So I got Nuts and Milk there. So anyways, it was like just like a really specifically weird thing that like I really appreciated it, and like it's just like a very chill little store to kind of go in. So like I kind of feel like, yeah, man, you should probably go to Nuts and Milk if you're ever in that area, Shibuya, Shinjuku-ish kind of area. But yeah, it was a cute little thing. So it was a fun little event. I think that's pretty much all I have that I really want to show without going too deep. So yeah, those were kind of like, I'd say in some ways the highlights of like the video game-ish portion of my event, my trip, honestly. Some other stuff, you know, I went to stores and things like that. Per usual. I'll go over some games that I got here in a little bit. We'll go through them pretty quickly, I think. But is there anything in here? Let me just kind of skim through this real quick. I have like I just picked up like some Switch ads and things like that. We'll get into that in a little bit. Star Horse 4. Picked up the Star Horse 4 guide. Just in case any of you play Star Horse. There's a little manga in there, apparently. Some random thing that I picked up because the Konosuba lady was on it. I don't think there's anything of value. Or not value, but like anything of real interest. There's something for later. I'll save that for when we get to that. I was kind of curious, like, what they were advertising in the PS5, like, thing for a Japanese console. So I picked that up, but it's like, Wolong, Hogwarts, Wild Hearts, Final Fantasy 15, Biohazard, Monster Hunter Rise, Street Fighter. I think that's all pretty standard. Hogwarts is something that I've seen come up a lot on like Japanese, online game commentary. So I wonder if that got kind of like got a decent amount of attention. Obviously here in the US, there's some things about that regarding more social issues. But it seemed like maybe it kind of got caught on a little bit more in Japan, but I did not like look into sales numbers or anything like that. So anyways, we'll throw the rest of that side to the side for now. I really should keep this organized, but I'm just throwing everything everywhere. So that's a good, smart thing to do, Ben. Anyways, so that was kind of like the video game kind of aspect, or like the most exciting part of the video game aspect of the trip. I will say I did not buy as many games as I did previously on my last trips. And I think I just like wasn't... I was spending a lot of time in Tokyo, so prices were not particularly great. Nagoya, prices were way better there. And so I feel like when I was buying games, I wasn't necessarily getting them for like the best. I mean, they're definitely cheaper than buying them online from the US, but not like as big of a savings as I was kind of hoping for. So let me grab some of those games actually real quick. So, I mean, I still got a lot of games, so like we're not going to spend a lot of time on any of these. But one of the first things I got actually when I was there was the Let's Tap complete thing here. I always wanted a Let's Tap box, and I haven't looked recently, but they always were kind of like slightly more expensive than I'd like them to be here in the US to get one. And so this was like, I think 800 yen, so maybe around like $5. There is like a note on here, so hopefully that doesn't say box missing. But it is kind of big, but because I was kind of not buying nearly as much this time around, it being bigger was not really a huge deal. Speaking of Wii, I got quite a few different Wii games. I finally picked up Tact of Magic, which is a cool kind of magic casting game on the Wii. There's like a fan translation for it now. A Gintama game that was 280 yen, so that's why I picked that up. And we also looked at that, I think, on a video at some point. I didn't play it, but we were looking at like Wii commercials. We got the Rhythm Tamagotchi game, Rhythm Fever, or whatever that is for that. The Gundam, you kind of see the price on these. Like 480 is not bad yen wise. I mean, it's still like $3-ish, but I'm like living for the 100 yen, baby. so like these are not expensive video games, I will say. But like they add up when you start having closer prices like that. But that's that Mobile Suit Gundam games, like one of the earlier games I think on the Wii. Got Hajime no Ippo, 300 yen. This, I think, was around maybe like 1,500 yen. So since I went to that Pretty Cure event, I went to a book off nearby, and they had a Pretty Cure Wii games. Like, yep, you know what? I'll buy the Pretty Cure Wii game. It's a dancing game. And I knew about it, but I never was like thinking of picking it up. So there you go. That's going to be my Pretty Cure experience, I'm sure, for that. I don't know what this is. I got to figure out what this is, but like the cover kind of caught my attention. I like the characters on the back here. It's a Hudson Soft game. It's got like kind of like a mini game collection look to it kind of thing. And it looks like that's something that probably didn't get localized. So I went and picked that up. Everyone's favorite, Hula Wii. I looked at this recently in like a Wii like montage video of Japanese only Wii games. And I was like, Miss Aloha Hula 2001. So apparently Hawaii and Japan have like kind of a thing going on with that stuff. I don't know anything about it. Somebody mentioned it, but separate of this, but that might make sense why there's a Hula Wii game in Japan. Don't know what this is, but I thought it looked kind of cool. Something Reborn. I think it might be like a fighting game. I don't know for sure, but for 160 yen, basically like $1. And then this one's what I was looking for a while actually. And it is a kind of like a festival game, and kind of I think it's technically part of like the Taiko Drum Master series, but it's just a minigame collection. It's like one of the like early, I think it's a launch game for the Wii. But it's like a Japanese festival game, and I thought it looked cute, and I really want to check it out at some point. Let's stick on the Nintendo train. You got DS. This game is called Look at Smoking World. And I thought it looked kind of neat because it looks like a visual novel. It has kind of like 3D elements to it. And interestingly enough, this copy of the game was like significantly cheaper than another copy of it at the same store, and it's because the card was loose and it was a sealed video game. But I know you can't really see it here. It's basically like a little overworld you walk around and stuff like that. So that kind of caught my eye. Never heard of it before. It's a Fuyu published game, I believe. Yeah, Fuyu published. So maybe see what that is. But it's like 800 yen versus like the other sealed one that had the cart that like actually secured, and it was like 2,500 yen or something like that. It's a 100 yen baseball game. Figured I'd give that a look at some point. I don't have any DS baseball games. I just like the cover of this game. I know you can't see the full thing, but I was like, oh, I love how this looks. I mean, it's going to be one of those Japanese like self-help games, I'm sure. So guess who's not going to be able to play it effectively at all? But I just love the look of it. Oh, another Pretty Cure game. I picked that up. I was like, oh, double the Pretty Cure. Sure, why not? And then, and then I picked up that, I was hoping to get the Wii version of whatever this anime game is, but I only found the DS one of it. But I think there's quite a few of these, like a PS2 one as well. And it's got like mini games and music stuff. It looks like there's like a Taiko thing mini game on it too as well. So it's like a character that's like plays the piano, another one that like is a conductor or something like that. So there's like something in that regard. Oh, we got more DS stuff over here actually. This is a kanji learning Konami game with like a very Indiana Jones looking guy. Don't know anything about it, but I thought style wise it looked pretty cool. So I went and got that. I went ahead and bought the Japanese version of the Monolith Soft Dragon Ball Z game, which actually is a Kai game in Japan. In the US, it's not, because I think Kai was not out here yet. And I'm gonna play the English version of this, but the matter of fact is the English version is just a little high for my personal tastes. And I'm perfectly fine having the Japanese copy on my shelf and then just playing the English version separately. So, and then also a Kaiju Busters game, which is kind of like a Monster Hunter game on the DS, featuring kaiju characters. This is something I saw a long time ago and I was always really interested in. And I just never really got around to getting it, and it didn't ever show up on Japan Retro Direct as far as I could tell. So I ended up getting it there. And what's it? 900 yen, so a little bit more pricey. Gosh. Okay, I bought this. This is stupid. I shouldn't have bought this. I kind of regret buying it. Ni no Kuni. I assume this has the whole book in it, which is why it's huge. Good, like 270 yen for this whole thing. So again, huge space, but honestly, I was not planning to buy that much while I was in Japan, so I kind of just went for it. I've never played Ni no Kuni on the DS or on PS3. I don't even know if there's a fan translation for this on DS. And, obviously the book aspect of it is something that you need to have like some kind of translation for that separately, right? So, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have bought it. This is like one of those ones where I broke my own rule. I guess it has like the gimmick of like having a book, so that's like why. But I look at it and I ask the question of why would I play this? It's like most of these other things, I at least want to put it and look at it. I have no interest in really putting this in and looking at this, honestly. But I don't know. Maybe I'll throw it at someone someday. We got some PS2 games here. Finished out my Bravo Music collection. So I have all the Bravo Music Japanese version of Bravo Music games. Which are like the Mad Maestro games here in the US. So I have the Christmas edition already. We played that on stream actually. But I got the sequel, I think is Let's Bravo Music. And then I also got the other expansion to the first game, which has a name I cannot pronounce, but it's just kind of more, I think, more tracks essentially for Bravo Music. I actually found out that Bravo Music, Let's Bravo Music has DLC tracks in the in Japan. I don't think the sequel came out in the US. So, Switch games. I was trying to get a couple different Switch games. Gunvolt 3. I've been trying to pick this up for a while. I got it like for a pretty decent price. I think it was like $25 or something like that. So I was like, okay, that's fine by me. That's a price I'll pay for Gunvolt 3. On the Indie Creates train, I did pick up Grim Guardians. Unfortunately, this was a bit more expensive than I was originally planning on buying it for, but I was kind of running out of places to find it at. So I think I got it for like maybe like $35, $38. So, but I do really want to play it at some point. And this, I was very surprised to see for the price I got it at. So I don't know if there's something wrong, and I don't know. But this is a copy of Dragon Quest Treasures. I got it for $20, right? $15 is what I got this for, which is very cheap, and it has English on the cart as far as I could tell from what I looked up. I got it at a Geo store. Speaking of which, I'll go into some of the Geo stuff, but Geo is a store I never went into before. It's just like a random, like, kind of electronic store kind of thing, and DVD store kind of stuff. And I heard that, like, it might have, like, some rental stuff you can do there too. I don't know for sure. And, like, part of me is worried, like, maybe I rented this and why it was so cheap, but it still was kind of high enough, and I don't think that they would have let me rent it. Honestly, if they didn't think I knew what I was doing, or if they thought I was doing something like that as someone who can't speak any Japanese kind of thing, right? But the other thing, I'll just go ahead and grab it, is I got myself a PlayStation VR at that Geo store as well, because they were just like really affordable there. So I had to get some controllers and stuff. Now they came with the box and everything. It was not a complete PlayStation VR, but it came with the box and everything. And I unfortunately just couldn't get the box back. It just was a little too big. So I went and got that, and I won't go get it, but there's controllers and cameras and all that stuff over there. And in total, it was about like $70 for the whole thing. So I feel pretty good about that. For that thing. I've always wanted to try PlayStation VR because there are a handful of games that kind of caught my eye. So, but I wasn't really willing to get a PSVR for like any price less than $100. So personally, if I were to invest money into an actual VR headset that I would use for like more seriously, it would be a PC one. I got what's it? Mandarake, maybe? I don't remember. What is this game called in Europe? Sort of Eteria soundtrack. Picked that up. It's called Oz in Japan and Chains of Power in Korea or something like that. I have no idea what this is, but I was a big Soul Hunter fan when I was a kid. I forget the Japanese name for this, but I went ahead and picked that up because I had no idea this was a game. I'm going to guess mostly a visual novel kind of thing. So I don't expect any actual video game coming out of that. And then I got a bunch of doujin games, I think. I think that's all that's left up here. One of these may be kind of expensive. Let me kind of just vet some stuff here real quick. Okay. This one, I can't show you the back of this one. Don't look this game up. It's called Eliminator. It is definitely like a hentai shooter. So, there's like tons of these things, and like, I was just like, let me just get one. I've never played one before. I'm kind of curious what they're like. They all look like they're just built in Unreal Engine and just look like the jankiest things. And I like Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters a lot, which kind of feels like an official like hentai shooter from D3 kind of thing almost. So like I kind of was like curious about it. So I picked that up from like a Mulan. It was like basically $25-ish. I think actually after taxes it was closer to like $30. So it actually was pretty expensive. Going to the Mulan though, like if you're somebody who like regularly looks at DL site or something like that, right? You know the kind of stuff's on there. Like, you know the weird RPG Maker stuff that's on there and things like that. If you go to like the Mulan and their like Windows PC floor, it is a lot of just that DL site style content on a shelf, which is like a very bizarre thing to see that like physically like filling up an entire floor of a store. It's fascinating to see kind of thing. But I got these from I think Lash and Bang. Most of these I don't really know what they are. It's a Toho. I think it's a Toho RPG. Like most of these were like $1.50 to $2, so I just went and grabbed them. This is I think some kind of like shooter, just a maid. I don't know anything about this really. Action game for Windows. This kind of had a cute style to it. It's called Third Eye. Don't know anything about this really, but I like the look of it. So I'll give that a look at some point. There's some note on there, so we'll see if there's something missing out of that. I try to keep the receipts with it. I think this has a butt on it. Okay, it's clean. I don't know what this is called. I'm not gonna try to read it, but this is another like top-down shooter. But I like the art of it quite a bit. So here's the butt one. I think this is like fairly safe. It's a volleyball cover, but the game's like a motorcycle game for some reason. I don't really know. Don't ask questions. It's another shooter. I mean, there's a lot of these shooters. It's just some of these were just like so cheap. It was kind of like just grab it, just grab it off a shelf. Like doujin games in particular. This is I think kind of an EDF kind of thing. Dyna Madia 3D. I don't know. I haven't looked at it too closely yet. This is like the second time I'm looking at this after I got it off a shelf. So, apologies if I get your favorite doujin game wrong. This kind of looks like a Legend of Zelda kind of game. Fallen Dumb. I wonder if that's like a parody on like what's that called? Falcom. Oh, this game kind of reminded me a little bit of what's that game on the PCFX called? Megami Paradise. So I picked that up just like on the back of it. Some of the sprite art looked like it. You kind of like are walking around a town and stuff like that. So it kind of caught my eye. It might be like an RPG or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Again, like $1, so might as well check it out. I didn't like pick up every single game, but this is like a Fate kind of like brawler kind of thing. So I don't know anything about it, but it kind of looked all right. And then this is what I was thinking of. This is the Madoka EDF game, Homura Combat. So, or at least I think it's the Madoka EDF game. It looks like it is, but I don't know for sure. So that was the most expensive one out of that whole set, which is like $4. So again, these are all like super cheap for doujin game stuff. And I didn't go to any events that had like a lot of doujin games going on. I also went to Beep. And at Beep, they had a bin full of junk doujin games. So most of these may not work. This one's not junk. Let me come. I'll show this one to you, actually. It's a fighting game, I believe. I don't know anything about it, but that's what it is. Or as far as I can tell, that's what it is. But then there's like some other junk stuff. I don't know what most of these are. Again, they're just very cheap. This is like the first day of my trip, so I just kind of... When I saw these, like, yeah, just grab all these. So, Snowbird, this is some kind of, what is this show called? Is this canon? I think this is canon. It's like there's like a grid on the back here. Cute little characters. So, very good chance a lot of these will not work, if not all of these are the ones I'm showing you right now. This is a Eternal Fighter Zero Lunatic. Is that what this is called? Combo DVD? Eternal Final Zero Memorial Combo DVD Lunatic. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if that's 2 video games in here or if that is something, but another, I think, canon-based thing. I have another, like, another canon fighting game. It's like a student game. This is a Lievo in 2007 Tokyo Game Show disc. It's just got a bunch of very like free-to-play looking PC games on it. I would not be surprised if whatever this is just doesn't work. Oh, it's got a Tecmo logo on it too. Apple Online, Fanta Tennis, Lord of the Rings Online. A lot of these are online, so I'm going to guess maybe why this is in the junk bin is because all of it is on an online service that no longer exists. I don't know, like, it's hard to tell sometimes, like, what are reprints doujin games. Sometimes it's just the original doujin game had a bad printer, but some game here, Korodu Coliseum, kind of like an action game kind of thing on the back. Kind of hard to see, but it's there. So yeah, that's that. And then one more thing I got as well. This is a Konami event that I got this at. So one other thing I went to when I was in Japan, I didn't really talk about this yesterday, this PlayStation thing, was I went to a Konami event. It was an event that was kind of like a indie developer event. And so there's a lot of indie developer stuff that was going on there. So you went around to tables and played stuff. Very crowded, so it was kind of hard to do anything meaningful. But I found this when I was there. Uchu Mega Fight, which is basically like a little clone of what's that game called? Joy Mecha Fight on the NES, but it's a PC game, so I got a physical copy of that. And then I got a bunch of ads for a variety of other things. Oh, here's the booklet for the event. Oh, some stuff fell out of it, but Indie Game Connect 2023. It's one of those things that a lot of people are really down on Konami, but they're still doing like quite a bit of stuff in Japan. So oh, there's this game. This was pretty cool. Let me see if I can find the name for it. Rusted. I'm not even going to try. But it's kind of like a little anime girl action game kind of thing. It played pretty well. Had like kind of a neat sword system where you collected swords and they'd kind of float behind you. And as you collected swords, you like change your moveset and things like that. So that was kind of neat. This was like a mobile game. This is kind of interesting because it felt like a doujin game, but it was like structured like a gacha mobile game. So I don't really know the intention behind that, but I played a little bit of it. It was kind of interesting. I got like a pin because I played it somewhere around here. Let's see. Is there anything else in here? I probably should just take these out for now. Ugh. I'm not going to do anything I did not play, even though if it looked cute. Oh, I did not play this, but I think this is on Steam. I don't know if it's playable at this point on Steam or if it's just in early access or what, but it's called Back Alley Chronicles. Kind of like a PS1 looking game, but you kind of like explored a Japanese town. The manual I bought was like 500 yen or something like that, so it was not a free handout or something like that. I just thought it looked kind of cute, but it's got a very like, I don't know. Oh, hello. Oh, little cat face. I don't know what that is. But, it's got kind of a nice style to it. But it's a 3D game. It's got, like, very PS1-looking characters. Heavily covered in, like, filters and overlays and things like that. I didn't play this one, but Oscar, who comes to our streams, had a lot of good things to say about this game called Titan Climb. Very, like, Shadow of the Colossus kind of thing. I did not touch it. What is this? It's a group called Shuhei Game Creators Camp. And, this lady talked to me for like 5 minutes. And there's another guy there that was Japanese. So I did not say anything. Because she was talking to both of us. And she's showing us their like anime sword fighting game. I did not understand a single thing she said. But thank God there's another guy there. So I could like not have to sit there and do the awkward like, oh, Nihongo wa karimasen. She went through her whole spiel. Gave me this. Life moved on. So I appreciated that. Anything else? I didn't play this, but is there another one? This is in English, by the way. Ghost Pia. It's got like a really nice look to it. If you're into like some nice looking kind of visual novel games, go look up Ghost Pia. But there's an English version of that. I didn't look into this, but this is like I think Oscar told me about this as well. It's like a VTuber stream game. I think maybe if you're a VTuber, you would be able to like interact with your chat through this game. I think I've seen stuff like that before for streamers in general, but that one just like is marketed towards VTubers, it seems like. We talked about this on the podcast, Never Awake. It's like a shooter. Whoop. That was kind of it's a nice looking shooter at the very least. Anything else? A bunch of stuff just like falling on me. Mid this video, I'm gonna have to go like clean it. Oh, Boosted. Boosted's really interesting. So Boosted is a Apple Watch game. And it is like a adventure game that gives you some story and stuff, but it's based off like your the walk amount of steps you do. So at least in the demo they gave us, like they would ask you to do steps like mid-story, then the next time you opened it up, it would like show you what that story was. So yeah, it just was like an interesting idea. I do not have an Apple Watch, but I liked the idea a lot. Yobari Detective, I did play this, but it's like a Office Lady Pocky and Rocky game. The demo was a little slow and sluggish. I think it's kind of roguelike where you play through like a stage and you like get different power-ups and things like that based off like, random choice, and you get to select which ones. I don't know. It did not give me the best first impression. I don't remember if it's out yet. It doesn't look like it is, but we talked about that on the podcast in the past as well too. So, but yeah, I think that's, there's like Oh My Buddha, which was a, rhythm game featuring Buddhist songs. Is actually kind of cute. It had English, so let me see. Twitter, Zena PPJP, if you want to look at that. That was kind of cute, though. All right, and that's pretty much all I'm going to go through today for that. Did I get 2 of these? Okay, no. Yeah, that was another event I went to. I forgot to mention that. I mean, it was a lot more of like a formal indie game event in Japan. So, it definitely wasn't like the same kind of like grassroots feeling of like a, what's it called? Game Legacy Volume 2 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, that was kind of the stuff I bought and all those things. Let's look at some nature stuff here real quick. Let's take a break from video games. Video game break moment. We're going to open up this, display capture again after me talking for like an hour about games. This is not going any faster than last time, but it's fine. It was a 2-week trip, right? So there's a few different things I did on that trip. I won't go through all like the parks and stuff like that, but one of the places I went to first and foremost, which I actually really enjoyed, it was a place called Sayama Lake. Sayama Lake is kind of a lake in, I don't know, I would explain it as the middle of nowhere, but it is like still like within the Tokyo area, maybe closer to like Saitama. I think it's on maybe the border for Saitama. So it was just like a really nice lake, and there's a lot of people doing like bird watching and stuff like that there. Let me see, do I have any videos for this I can show? Oh, there's like this weird, like when you walked up there, there's like this grove you kind of walked through. It's kind of has fantasy vibes to it. I kind of felt like there's kind of a grove you walked through for that though. But it's just kind of like a nice little neighborhood. There's like a shrine that was out there. That was neat. I mean, there's little shrines around a lot of places in Japan, but I think like the kind of nice thing about these ones is that they're kind of like not trafficked much, it feels like. Or maybe it feels like maybe more just for local use rather than tourism stuff. So you just kind of show up there and nobody's there. And it's just kind of in whatever condition it's in, whatever state it is in. So some of them are maybe like this one's a little more like regularly taken care of. It feels like this is like in the middle of the city. Is that do I have another picture of that? I don't think I think it's just a little bit of a higher quality picture, but just like little tiny shrines, stuff like that. But I mean that kind of stuff's like kind of all over the place in Japan. So but I really enjoyed it. I did have like an old man come up to me at some point. Is this that one shrine? Okay, this is the one I just showed you. That was that shrine. I did have like an old man come up to me at some point who like, asked the question that all Japanese old men ask you, which is, where are you from, basically. So, big lake, big water, bunch of people bird watching. It's kind of neat. And then there's like a little forest area in the background that I walked through, which is where that like shrine was. And they had like, that's the same one. They had like designated like areas where they like kind of explained. There's like these little placards. So there's one I passed right there that's like, oh, this area you'll like, here's birds for this area, I guess is like kind of what it is. But just out forest. There's some guys doing some lumberjack work out there. That was kind of fun to see. But it's like a little path back here. A couple of old Japanese lady I passed by. A guy that was like riding around on his bike, bird watching. I think that's his bike on the left there. I think I turned it off because he was over there. So I generally, when I'm in Japan, try not to capture people. Well, obviously that's kind of stuff that, just kind of happens sometimes. So I also went to a Watergate area. I forget what this was called, but this was, I think up the Edogawa River, there's just a Watergate and it has like a little man-made island on it. And that was kind of neat. Let me see what we got here. Oh, it's like a little shrine thing. Again, those things are kind of everywhere. You have little shrines. So like a little bridge here, and it would go across, and the water gates like across the river here. Sorry, I just kind of like would record stuff, and then sometimes I'd send it to my family. Sometimes I wouldn't. There's the water gate, or one of the water gates. There's the other one. A lot of like bike riding. So this was like probably more of like an actual park. It was like a very kind of man-made parkish area. So here's like the little island kind of thing you kind of walk over to. So you cross the water gate, and then there's like this little man-made island here. And this is on the man-made island. It's kind of nice. There's like some people out there just picnicking. Some people out there just like, fishing. There's a bird. Check that bird out. Yo, bird. But you can see like these rocks here. They're very much like cut out to be like, hey, sit your butt here and have a picnic. And hey, guess what I did? Sat my butt there and had a little picnic going on there. I had some bread that I bought. I forget what this was. I think it was like kind of like a weird veggie patty kind of thing that was like in between it. Also, this is like a caramel breadstick thing. I don't remember exactly what it is. Did I take a picture of me eating it? Oh yeah, there's like I think it was like cream cheese inside or something like that. So it's like, it felt like a little burnt, I will say. A little too burnt for my personal liking, honestly. But, it's fine. It's fine. So it is a cute little island. Some water by there. Nice water. So that was a cute little Watergate thing. I also went to an island called Jogashima during the trip. This was a really nice place. So the like surface level, it's very much a park. If you're like going around the top, it is basically as parks can get. I don't know if I have any pictures of just like the park area. I think I mostly took pictures of the water. Let me see if is there anything I have that's like a... Yeah, you can see there's like a walkway path, and it's all pretty well developed, right? There's a little sitting area, things like that. But the island itself is pretty big. You go around. There's a bunch of cats on the island as well, so there's some cats just like hanging out there. Like as far as I can tell, just wild cats hanging out behind this shed, cleaning themselves. This cat just like came over and randomly flopped himself on my foot, which was cute. I didn't touch them because I wasn't really sure if I was supposed to touch them. But again, top level kind of main park area. And then there's like paths you can go down, and those paths kind of lead over to more like this rocky beach area. These areas were pretty populated, I will say, for the most part. But there were areas that were not as populated. I think I have just some like general videos of water doing water stuff, right? Check it out. It's water. Doing water stuff. Water. Doing water stuff. Look at that water. Japanese water, man. Japanese water is crazy. So much better than American water. I think this is more water. So it's a nice little beach. A lot of people out there fishing on the side. So there are quite a few people. However, as you go around the park, there's actually these like side path areas that are a little more, well, again, this is more like paved kind of stuff. But it's a little paved path you can go in little tunnels and things like that. But let me see if I can find, is this it? I think this is it. So yeah, so this is like a little like slope you can go down off the side path, and like there are some stairs and like fencing here, but it's pretty roughed up. And so, you can kind of come down here, and then you comes out here, and it comes down to like a little beach area. Again, there's like very, very steep here. It's like, as like part of me is like, should I even be here? But it comes out to this little area here. There's a guy over there. So I was like, thank God there's a guy over there, because like if I fall and die, I need somebody there to to do that. I think I have just like a recording of the beach itself. Yeah, so like here's a whole like more widescreen look at the beach. So one thing I did not realize at this point was and maybe I don't know if they'll show up here. Can I go back, please? Can I rewatch this video, please? Okay. Like over here on the left, there's some like kids camping that I didn't realize. And like while I was down here, I kind of just like walked down the beach a bit and then kind of came back and then went back up. But the kids here, they were like fishing and then they like caught some fish and they had a little wooden board and they were cutting it. And then they got in a fight with some birds and they were fighting off the birds to try to keep them away from their fish, which was kind of silly. We got some more cats chilling here on the road, just hanging out, being cats. The place has like a cat for its logo, cat with a big fish there. They have a cat on their lighthouse here printed off, just kind of silly. I don't know if I got any pictures. Like, there's kind of like this weird architecture over here. No, I'm sitting on top of it. There's like a weird, like almost like Italian feeling architecture to like some of the buildings on like one side of the area. But like basically one side of the island's like the park and the other side of the island's like a little fishing town kind of thing. And it was kind of cute. There's like a guy who like had an ice cream stall. Like part of the fishing town is very touristy. There's like a cafe there, there's a souvenir shop, like kind of, and when I say part, this is a very small island, so it's like maybe like one little road that was like full of little shops and things like that. The other part, which is like the majority of that part, is just like a fishing town basically. And so I saw a guy that was like in the touristy area selling ice cream, and like no one was really there. And then when I was coming back around and we went through like the whole fishing area and came back out, he was closing up shop, and then like he left his shop with his little fishing rod and went right down to the fishing area. Oh yeah, there's in the fisherman part of town, there's just a Spider-Man hanging out on the wall there. There was like a little shrine thing somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. It was kind of like in the fishing part of the town a little bit. Yeah. So it's like on a way to like a fishing area. There's just like this little shrine that you can kind of walk up this little path. And it's like very small. It's just like a little mound of a place, basically. I think this is like the view from the top of it. Yeah. So there's a bunch of people over there fishing. But, you know, there's a little shrine hanging out up here. And this is not very big. Like, it goes back over there, and there's, like, one little place you can stand there, and then that's, like, the cliff where you go back down to the what's it called. So, you know, very small little thing. But yeah, it's a cute little thing. Hey, Spider-Man, you're still there. Cute kind of thing. So, it was a neat place. I definitely had fun there. I was a little worried when I got there, and it was, like, mostly normal park looking, but there's definitely plenty of things to kind of go and shove your nose into. If you want to. So I have a folder here just called Touching Grass in general. These are mostly just parks and stuff, so I'll spare you guys from just park pictures. Yoyogi Park, train time. Let's talk about Puro Land. So if you don't know, Sanrio Hello Kitty has a amusement park there called Puro Land. I mostly went there for what's it called? Kawaii Kabuki. Could not get any video of Kawaii Kabuki, unfortunately, but it's like a stage show with like Kabuki on it. And yeah, so like you know, the place by the train station that's like by it actually has like let me double check something. Okay. It actually has like Hello Kitty stuff all over the train station, which is kind of silly. But yeah, I think I have some video here of the Puro Land area. Okay, so this is like the outside. It's kind of menacing looking from the outside. It kind of reminds me of like an abandoned theme park for some reason. Maybe because I was like there during the middle of the week and it was quiet. But you know, it's kind of this big like castle-ish looking area with a park there. I don't know anything about Hello Kitty really. I think Hello Kitty is kind of a cute thing. But there's this kind of like center area, kind of Hello Kitty plaza, I guess you could call it. Most of what's in the Hello Kitty Puro Land is like shops and stuff like that, we'll say. And then there's like this back area that's kind of like more of like a garden This is like where like all the shows are kind of connected to, I feel like. And there's like an actual show that's like out there later as well. So, there's like these weird, I don't know what these are. In the corner, there's like this, just a set of like really weird, strange looking toys that do not look like Hello Kitty or Sanrio. I do not know what these were, but they were fascinating to see at the very least. I got myself some cinnamon roll curry, which was maybe some of the worst curry I've had in my life, but it's a cute little plate at the very least. And it had actually the little like the muffins up here. That's like a little like marshmallow bunny you could eat, but like these things like muffin balls, and you have like a jam that came with it. Yeah, like that. It's like a blueberry jam or something like that. You could put that on there. That was actually pretty good. That might be specific to like the Flower Festival event happening right now. So you got like a little stamp card over there that you can kind of see. And you would like get it based off like eating different things there, which I ate more than I should there, but was not going to be able to eat enough to get all the stamps. So, and there's the muffin thing with like the blueberry sauce on it. This sauce packet's really cool because you just like basically fold it and it just like shoots the jam out. I like it a lot. Let me see. Is there anything in here? There's just the plaza again. I think these are like the video from the kind of like, there's like a show where like Hello Kitty kind of comes down from the ceiling and there's characters singing and dancing and stuff like that. That was pretty nice, and you can actually record it, which is cool. Oh, there's a VR element to it as well, or maybe like virtual world element where like people can log on to an online game server and they have their characters there. And like it's like the physical world and virtual world coming together kind of thing. So that's kind of a silly little thing for that. So it was a cute little thing. Oh yeah, and here's the other cafe I went to. I played that Cinnamon Roll game on the Game Boy Advance and I liked it. So I have most affection for Cinnamon Roll. And so there's the Cinnamon Roll Dream Cafe. More sweets. I got some kind of like blue lemon pineapple drink. I don't know for sure what it is. Again, another marshmallow bunny there. And then like an ice cream thing. So a lot of sweets that day. At least those taste way better than the curry though. So, then there's like a Hello Kitty, like, sanitizer thing. I kind of liked Hello Kitty spraying your hands when you came in. So that was a cute little thing there. Let's see. I did go to Nagoya Castle a little bit. I was maybe not the biggest fan of Nagoya Castle. I mean, the castle looks cool from the outside for sure. There's like some stuff on the inside you can look at as well. There's like this little moat here full of stuff. So like one that I think is like the entrance building for like guests and things like that. And there's like cool art on the walls, but I don't know if like intentionally these things are like left kind of empty just to be like preservation thing. But like for me, it kind of feels like none of these places feel lived in. So it feels hard to kind of relate to its historical context, I feel like. Unless historically these rooms are just completely empty. I don't know. So it's nice, but I just didn't really care that much for it. The thing I liked most, I think this is it. For some reason, there's just a gate over here, and there's like a placard that explains some stuff. Nobody wants to see the gate, apparently. So I came over here to this gate. There's just like a bunch of rocks and stuff. It's out of the way from the other people doing their tourist stuff over there. And I just found this place to be like pretty kind of relaxing. Sorry, I did some of these videos in vertical because I was sending this through Marco Polo to my family. So vertical just looked better for them. It's like a nice, calm little area to be at there. So, but yeah, I don't know. I did not care for the Nagoya castle stuff that much. I heard there's another castle in Japan that's or Nagoya that was pretty neat though. When I was in Nagoya though, I did go to a bar called Critical Hit. This is a Ray Barnholt recommended I go here. So I did go there. It's a pretty cool bar. There's the owner dude there, but they're playing Street Fighter on there right now. Most of the time I was there, he was playing Resident Evil 4 or whatever, one of the guys at the bar. But it's kind of like a video game bar thing. As far as I could tell based off what I asked, mostly foreigners who are here. So if you want to come speak English somewhere, well, the critical hit bar probably for you maybe. So he has a wall of games. You can just kind of play stuff while you're there. I don't drink, so I just got like ginger ale and fries basically. But hanged out there, talked to him for a while. Seems like a pretty cool crew. So if you're ever in Nagoya, I would recommend, going there, especially if you're like towards the end of a trip and you haven't talked to somebody in English recently, like, cause I went alone for the most part. Right. So like, it's kind of a nice place to go and just like have a conversation and be able to talk to people, especially after the doujin event in Nagoya where I could not talk to anybody about almost anything. So, cause I cannot, read anything or, speak any Japanese. I went to the Monolith Soft building. You might have saw this on Twitter, where I brought my copy of Disaster Day of Crisis to Japan. And I was like, gonna go hold this in front of the Monolith Soft building. I did that. Did my basically Hunex pilgrimage, but for Monolith Soft. I didn't post this on Twitter because it was kind of weird. And I don't recommend doing this because it was kind of... Maybe actually, is it even in here? Oh, it is in here. So this building is kind of in a weird spot where it's like somewhat open to the public and there's like a little area you can walk down there and it like connects to another building that has like shops in it and there's like a shrine there and things like that. So like it's weirdly kind of like walkable and open to the public. But the main tower is definitely not really for people to go in. And I definitely kind of walked up to it just kind of curious like how close I could get. There's like a security guard up there. So I did do a creeper shot of, there's a window that like I could look in that the security guard wouldn't go in. And like Monolith Soft's like on the 12th floor or whatever. So like I'm not seeing anything. It's just like a big lobby area. So it's nothing bad, but like I just wanted to see the placard and confirm basically. So I did see the placard and I did confirm Monolith Soft right there. Monolith Soft reception. I believe they're on floor 12 based off what I read. But also interesting, I'm glad I took this picture. Cave Interactive is in that same building. I had no idea about that. So that's the shooter company as far as I could tell. And then also like Hagen-Dazsen is in here or something like that. Where's Hagen-Dazsen? Can I find him? Am I blind? Could have sworn I saw Hagen-Dazsen on here. I'm looking at this like way further away than you. Okay, yeah, there we go. Hagen-Dazsen, Japan. So anyways, that was a silly, dumb thing. I felt kind of bad taking that creeper shot, but I still did it. So there you go. Another video game pilgrimage achieved. I don't know what the next one will be next time I go to Japan, if I go to another like game developer office, but that was kind of a fun thing. So kind of like back on the more normal touristy thing, there's in Shinjuku a bunch of like kind of video game and character good shops. So there's the Nintendo store, obviously. You've probably seen these things taking pictures of. I mostly was taking these pictures for my nephew because he is big into Nintendo stuff, which thankfully makes it easier for me to relate to him. Oh, that's Creeper Shop number 2. But yeah, I went to the Nintendo store. I didn't really get anything too fancy there. I got like some stationery and stuff, so I'm not really gonna. I have to go get it, and it's not over here, so that's fine. But in that same shop, Koei Tecmo is there, and there's a no picture policy here, unfortunately. Hence me going to the very corner and showing you here. But there's a whole wall of Buddy Mission Bond stuff. These are Buddy Mission Bond tags and things like that. There's Buddy Mission Bond bag somewhere over here. There it is. I actually bought that bag, so I have that bag as well. There's like some other stuff, Gust stuff there as well. But whole back wall here, for the most part, Buddy Mission Bond. Some other stuff from Ruby Party, stuff like that. So I took some creeper shots there, trying to get there. What is that? Oh, it's another Ruby Party thing. Okay. So actually, while we're here, I'll go get my Buddy Mission Bond stuff here real quick, so you'll see my face once again. So I'm not going to go get the bag because I think you guys more or less saw it. But I did get some little trinkets and fun things. I got a Chelsea, however you want to pronounce it, coin purse. It's cute. Got a little Aaron keychain. I got a Mokuma and Chelsea little acrylic standee featuring the cutscene where Mokuma spits a bunch of sake in Chelsea's face. This is the scene where Nadeska, is that her name? I think that's her name. Basically goes like at the beginning of certain missions, she'll be like, "Team Bond, go!" basically, or something like that. So that's what that is. Another like little standee scene. And then I did not get this at the Koei Tecmo store, but I also at Mandarake, is that what it was? I don't remember. Got the Buddy Mission Bond drama CD, but this is the special edition one that includes the booklet in there. So this is quite a bit cheaper, around like $20, where these normally go for about like, $50, $60 full price. And they definitely were charging that at the Koei Tecmo store, and those were not the special edition ones anymore because they're like kind of first run kind of thing. So that's the only one of those drama CDs I have, unfortunately. But it's really hard for me to justify spending a lot of money on drama CDs when I can't really understand them. So yeah, so there's my Buddy Mission Bond adventure pack there, kind of thing. A couple other things in that Shinjuku place. There's a Monster Hunter picture thing where you have a big Monster Hunter foot coming out. Something about it, like just seeing the foot rendered, I was like, oh, here's your Monster Hunter foot fetish area. Is like kind of how I felt about it. But there's the Pokemon Center. I think there's like a design board, an Easter thing. Let me see. I think I have a video for the Pokemon Center here. This is like a weird Mewtwo kind of entrance area kind of thing with like Mewtwo and a thing. So I have no real strong interest in Pokemon, so I just kind of went through there, took some pictures for my nephew. The Lawsons nearby had a Dragon Quest Treasures ad, which was kind of neat. I think that was kind of it for the Shinjuku kind of, I guess you could say, amusement character goods store kind of thing. So I'm going to go look at some buildings here real quick. Let's go through some ads here real quick. So I looked at some Japanese ads. There's like a cute little statue here. It's like a bun shop thing. I don't think I saw that last time. There's a lot of like HoloLive stuff happening there in terms of ads. So I think this is like some kind of not New Year's, some kind of festival event. I don't know what it is. But featuring a bunch of HoloLive characters. A couple of EN, actually, which I was kind of surprised. Ina and Gouda, Ollie. Kobo? Yeah, Kobo. Surprised I remembered that despite the name is there, but like I actually pulled that on my brain. I'm surprised. Marine, I think. So Mio got pole duty there or something. So anyways, there's a close picture of Mio. My friend likes Mio, so I kind of went on my way to get an extra Mio picture for him. Oh, there's a bigger one that was like by the train station. I think I got like a further away shot. Gundam. Oh, this is the Bandai Namco arcade thing. I went in that arcade. It is basically all Gundam on the first floor, I feel like. So, I mean, I think that's true of a lot of Bandai Namco arcade stuff. Is like a big floor of Gundam. I mean, a lot of arcades have big floor Gundam. This is kind of like silly, like Ghost in the Shell Stop Terrorism ad, which I think is like about reporting stuff to the police, basically. Call 110 for police. I don't know what this is. This is a cute little ad, though. I like the art on it, or something. It was in a building for some store. Don't know anything about it. Let me see here. Oh, so I missed this. So Buck-N Yar, if you don't know, Buck-N Yar is, I think, the Studio Saisenzen new game. It's like a boat tower defense kind of game. And I think I actually knew that this event was happening and I missed it. It's just like a demo event though, right? And you could come and play it. It was like for 2 days and I missed it. So I got there like right as they were wrapping up everything, unfortunately. So I ended up missing that event. I was not planning to even stop by there. I just was walking by and saw it. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot about that thing. So just kind of good or bad timing on that, I guess. I don't really know for sure on that. This is a train station idol. I forget if there's like the Kanda station or something. So got his own little outfits. I thought that was kind of interesting that they had idol specifically for that train station, apparently. Anything else? I think I just thought there's like so many cute ads in Japan that I just want to go take pictures of all of them. There's a dinosaur cake at Baskin Robbins. I was like, that's rad. I didn't eat it, but like that is rad. Yeah. I very much like the Japanese style ads and stuff, and like even like just like the things that are like, warning, don't worry about shoplifters, and usually there's just like a silly little picture drawn or something. Like, maybe is this? Oh no, this is the Friends building. Never mind. That's a game shop in Japan. I was trying to see. I have a picture of some of that stuff somewhere. I don't think I have in the ad section though. Oh, there was somebody who like drew a crony from Hololive for something. It was like a PC store or something like that. I don't know. It was kind of interesting to see random crony in there. Let me see. Oh, this is a maid cafe in Akihabara, so I don't really have any interest, but I thought the shutter art was like really cute. It's like a weird girl with pink hair, and I don't know like what's going on with her limbs there, but I like the look of it a lot. I forget the name of it. Might be like debut stage or something like that. The vape shop from last time was still there, but now it's CBD and vape. So thought that was kind of funny. Let's see. Got some random Shinjuku stuff. Shibuya. Oh, this like the Shinjuku building that has like the what's it called? The like Buddy Mission Bond and Nintendo shop in there and stuff like that. They had like some Bara art on the outside that I thought was actually kind of nice for that. There's actually quite a few buildings with just like some nice art on the outside. I don't remember where this one was, unfortunately, but it's like a girl. This is like made of all tiles, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it's all tile art. It's like a dog going up with a girl onto like a beach. I feel like that was maybe in Oda City. I don't know for sure on that one. And then also there was this art here that's just kind of like, you know, cute little characters. I feel like this building also had like a TV on it, and I saw like an ad that was like abbreviation for bags, which is boys and girls for safety, but just like using the word bags was kind of interesting for that. That's probably like enough buildings and stuff like that for now. So I think the last thing we'll do is we'll talk about arcade stuff. I went to a handful of different arcades. Typically you go to Akihabara, you go to Gigo. Gigo third building has some like interesting retro games there. This one was actually really cool. It was like a third person or a on-rail shooter where you're like a cop or something. But around this whole machine, there's a bunch of sensors. So it actually tracks your like ability to dodge and weave. And unfortunately, I didn't like get video of anyone playing it or myself playing it. But one of the cool things too is that it's all about shooting the gun out of the victim's hands or the criminal's hands. And it seems like you get a penalty for actually shooting the criminals. So that was kind of like a neat aspect too, where you have to kind of be pretty accurate and make sure you shoot their hands. You can either be like a couple different police officers, a SWAT team member, or something else. I forget. Yeah, there you go. You can see. This is kind of like the how-to on screen. It shows you, and you can dodge bullets, and they kind of like move slow and kind of like bullet time kind of thing. So it's got a kind of neat idea behind it. So I thought it was really cool. It's a Konami game. I do not know the name of it, but there's a bunch of Japanese up there. Every time I went back later, people were playing it. I never saw it after I saw it free after that first time I played it. So, but yeah, against the Gigo third buildings, like all these arcade games are in there. So, this is some fighting game I played. I do not remember the name of it for the life of me, but I thought it looked kind of neat. Is this a video of the, yeah, so there's a little walkthrough of the, Gigo. Third floor got Time Crisis, bunch of like candy cabs down there. I didn't walk around too far. I think I like walked around like a third of the floor here, House of the Dead, stuff like that. There's like a whole other area of games over there and like a couple different rows. And then like towards the entrance of this area, the Gigo, there's a Typing in the Dead machine. I forgot about that. Towards the entrance of this floor, there's also like a little like candy or cocktail table. That was pretty nice. But yeah, like a lot of really cool retro stuff here at this Gigo floor. And I honestly didn't spend a lot of time in the Sega arcades last time I was here. If you don't know, the Gigo brand bought out the Sega arcades basically. So they're kind of still Sega arcades, but they're technically Gigo. Oh, I guess I went way more around this than I thought. I had remembered that this was a lot, me walking a lot less around here. But yeah, I felt like the Gigo shops were generally pretty decent this time around. Or at least the Gigo third building had like a good variety of stuff going on here. There's like an eating area to the left here. I don't know if I show it at all. But you can like buy cup noodles and just eat it there. Okay, I kind of make a full way around here. So that was pretty neat. There's also in the urinals they had a ad for like washing your hands. Love Live girls being like, please wash your hands. Here's how you do it, which I thought was kind of silly. I played a lot of Chase Joker when I was in Japan. This is like a 3v3 game where you run around, and it's a part of like kind of the Bomber Girl series a little bit. It's vaguely horny. I played a lot of it. I got some gameplay, so I'll probably make a video about it at some point. Arsenal Base seemed to be a kind of like a Gundam Versus style game, but what I found out about this is that it has cards on it, so you put cards on here. I did not realize that at the time, and I did not look into it, although I think I have like an Arsenal-based like marketing packet here or something like that. So I played a lot of Chase Jokers. Let me see. The Gigo machine, our place still has the Sonic the Hedgehog changer thing there. More Chase Jokers. Chase Jokers. This is the Studio Seizen Milk-chan, I think is what it's called. Milk-chan, punch and jump. So it's kind of like getting over it, where you kind of like go and you climb up this whole area. There's like stamps that people can leave, kind of like a Meaver stamp that gives you advice, but it's all in Japanese. And you punch the ground. You can see like the tutorial there. You punch the ground and that makes you go. And you can punch at different angles and hold the button for like different periods of time for like different speeds and things like that, as far as I could tell. Really kind of like budgety kind of game. It's only on whatever this arcade machine is. I don't remember, unfortunately, but you might just have to look that up. Is it a Nessica machine or something? I don't remember. Aime something. But it's kind of cute. I did not love it, but if you have the Aime card, you can save your progress and come back and play some more. I played this kind of like, I guess you would say, rhythm shooter. It's like a shooting game with rhythm elements. You kind of just shoot stuff, and then randomly the screen will turn into a rhythm game, and you play that. I don't think I got any pictures of that, but it's kind of cute. I think it's on mobile phone. My friend mentioned there it is. Otoshi DX? Otashu? It's like Otashu? Something like that? What is that? Otoshu. I think it's a combination of shooter and I don't know what oto is like supposed to be. Some word for rhythm. I just be. Oh, here it is. The Philnet P-RAS multi. Bunch of games on here. So definitely quite a few of these around where like you can just kind of pick and load up a game if you want to on this thing. So including Dead or Alive 6. Apparently. Let me close out some of these windows here. More Chase Jokers. What is this? Oh, Mahjong Fight Club. Someone was asking me if there's Mahjong Fight Club. There's like a cool armadillo game. I think, did I get a picture of this? That's like, yeah. So it's like a trackball here, and you like roll around and you race in it. It's kind of a neat game. All right, I think I just Chase Joker. I did not spend as much time in Gigo, and if I was in Gigo, I was in there playing Chase Joker early on. Maybe a little more exciting if you are familiar with Japanese arcades. I went to Mikado, and actually I wanted to mention this little game earlier, because as far as I can tell, this game takes place at Mikado or something. It says that at the top there, so I'm guessing this is based around the Mikado arcade, and I think I maybe saw them selling copies of it there or something, but anyway, so this is a really cool little arcade in Shinjuku. Let me check the time because it's taking forever. Okay. There's a lot going on. Oh, OBS encoder overload. You please understand the problems that's going through. Oh, you actually didn't see that. Never mind. Anyways, so yeah, it's a pretty cool little arcade. And again, a lot of retro game stuff as well. there. Oh, they had like a G-Taste cab that was like repurposed for some other mahjong game. This is, I think, that like quiz game where you play a quiz game and it like you raise your daughter based off those quizzes and you get different options based off that. So it's like a Princess Maker arcade quiz game. Okay, this is the game that replaced the what's it called? The G-Taste cab. But they still had like a G-Taste panel on it. Oh, and then like outside when you're going towards the thing, this is a bad picture. There's like a vending machine. Oh, this is a better picture. Vending machine that features the Mikado Game Center logo on there, which is kind of neat. Again, another bad picture. There's a cute pillow there, though. This is a fun... Oh, no, this game was like a weird game where you like have this dial, and like at the top, I don't think I took a picture of the top. Oh, I kind of did. Again, very blurry. There's like a number here, and you have to like kind of do the math to spin this roulette and get the minus or plus that you need to get to like the 7 number or something like that kind of thing. So I did want that pillow. It was very cute. I did not get that pillow though. This is a weird game where you're stealing dumplings or something like that when you're praying or something. I don't know. It's really weird. There you can kind of see you're like the dude in front of you is like praying and he has dumplings on both sides of him, and you choose like which stack of dumplings to steal from. And there's only like one lever kind of thing and a button. So it seemed kind of like a kid's game kind of thing, but it was kind of a neat thing to have there. Irritating stick kind of game. So you move the stick up through these metal bars and try not to touch it. Something along those lines. I think it like automatically moved up. It did not like shock you or anything like that though. Some machine full of sex abbreviations. Elevator Action Returns. That's the first time I ever played that. That game's really cool. You can play it on a lot of platforms these days. But I played through that. Kind of like a very over the top version of Elevator Action. Very anime, lots of explosions, things like that. This is like Masked Riders Club. Maybe is that what that is? I don't know. It's like a Kamen Rider motorcycle game kind of thing. It's like isometric, and it was okay. You picked between different riders, and they had different attacks to kind of like fight forward and backwards kind of thing. They had a magical date machine there, which I was really excited. I played that. I have Magical Date on the PlayStation 1. If you don't know what that is a game kind of like a Mario Party game where you choose a girl to date and then you play mini games and try to succeed. You can also have little dates you go on. You have to choose the right answers. I don't know if I ever beat it because I didn't know what the answers were that I should give. But very early, 3D models kind of thing. Like, oh, look, my waifu. I don't know. But yeah, there's a PlayStation version of that. Oh yeah, there's like so one of the things, and I didn't see it on this machine. One thing I was aware of is there's like a screenshot feature in the PlayStation 1 version, and I think the arcade machine may have also let you do some stuff with screenshots. I don't know for sure. It's been a long time since I looked into this, but there's a picture mode. So it's like nice, and I sent it to my friend because the upskirt one's just like wow, and I was like oh wow, okay. Starblade, this is a really cool machine. I wonder if I got any pictures how it works. There's a weird kind of bent monitor inside kind of thing that gives it kind of a cockpit feel to the whole thing. This is a little video screen outside that shows you, but it's a very kind of flat shaded 3D kind of thing. So I believe it was a inspiration for Star Fox. And so it was pretty neat. But it kind of lacks the character of Star Fox, but still very impressive for what it was in the arcade. I forget what year it was, but being pre kind of Star Fox and being an early 3D shooter in arcade, I think. Cobra the Arcade. This is an on rails, very much kind of Time Crisis feeling game. I think it has 2 players and the characters kind of bounce around. But it's kind of interesting because he has I don't know anything about Cobra, but he has this arm cannon. I don't think you can see it here. He has an arm cannon, and you can kind of hold down the trigger and lock onto enemies, and it shoots one bullet that chains between them. They seem to kind of encourage you to do this, but I kind of feel it's not that great. This is a beer game. I might have a video for this. I might be able to pull it up where you slide the beer down the table. Okay, yeah. Let me see. I might have a video for that here real quick. Yeah, so it's like you get the beer, you got to slide down the table, and there's like a little red mark there that you have to slide the beer to touch. So unfortunately, somebody had like broken the beer cup at some point somehow. There's a very bad throw on my part, and it kind of resets itself. I forget what you win. I wonder if I show the prizes for this, but it's like a prize game. So close. That was the closest I ever got, I'm pretty sure. I played it a few more times. I think it's like a fun game though. It's a nice feeling thing, and I like the art on there as well. Let me see. Do I show the art there? Okay, yeah, so like a poster and some figures or something like that. So I don't think I ever cared to win whatever the prizes were in there. I just thought the game itself was kind of neat. I think maybe I went back later and they had like some Miku figures, and I was like, well, if I win one, I have a friend that likes Miku, I'll give that to them. They had a Money Idol Exchanger machine there as well. I like Money Idol Exchanger. It's like a puzzle game where you combine money. Cosmic Smash is like a kind of like Dreamcast tennis game, but originally it was an arcade game. Very neat look to it. I think there's like Cosmic Smash VR game kind of. Oh, I went back to Mikado later. Played Outrunners. I am bad at Outrunners. I didn't get past like the second level of Outrunners. It's a little baseball game. I didn't really understand what's happening, but it's a Jalico baseball game. I don't think there's even a panel that says what this is, but I'm gonna guess you can probably figure out what that is. But it seemed very like I don't know how to describe it. It seemed strange. It did not seem like a full video game to me. What is this? A Noir Cabinet HD had Blade Arceus. I think this is also a Studio Saizenzen game. I played Street Fighter 1 for the first time. Boy, that is a video game. I don't know how to say it other than the controls just feel bad to me. I would love to see the person who defends Street Fighter 1. What is this game called? Sonic Wings 3? Is that what this is? This is a weird game. It's like a flying game where you fight like pre-rendered dinosaurs. It's kind of neat. What is this? Sorry, this is like way further away from me. I probably should be looking at the other screen. Some kind of Taito game. It's like some kind of like weird shooter, 4-player shooter kind of thing. I think this game is a popular one. I think there are people who... There it is. You can kind of see it. Like you play as a character, you walk around, and you shoot. I think this is a popular game, and I think it maybe got like a Saturn port at some point. Or is on like maybe the Taito Arcade Collection or something. I think people like it though. There's a Tails trash can there. Hello, Tails. Cotton Rock and Roll. I do not remember anything about that. This was a game I was terrible at. Colon? Is that what that is? Kodun. Yep. Kodun. Yeah, it's got a cute style to it, but it's like a falling block puzzle game that I was bad at. Oh, I won this. Oh, this is actually behind me. I have it right here. I won this. I don't think I took a picture of the machine, but it's kind of like a crane game kind of thing. But instead of a crane, it was like a little pincher, and there's like a little like plastic nub up here with like little balls on it, and you'd use the pincher to kind of pull this down slowly. I didn't really see something like that before. I imagine it is a fairly normal thing. I don't think they have anything super special there or something like that. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting little thing. But that's the one thing I kept from Mikado for me. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. I lost my spot there. Okay, that was the last thing. Oh, then this is the other side of that. Bam. The other side of that vending machine has another Mikado picture for their mascot or whatever. So it's a cool arcade. I'd recommend going there. It seems really cool. Or was really cool. I also went to Hei, which is like Hirose Entertainment Yard in Japan. They had Chase Jokers blaring full front area and like a weird stretched 480p, not stretched, like a weird 480p video feed of this game's opening playing over and over and over again. They had some cool stuff there. They had, what is this? Cannon Spike? I played Cannon Spike. Cannon Spike seems okay. They had a free play table for 1942, or I think what this is, which is kind of cool. They're just like, hey, take turns, but you can just play this for free if you want. There's a lot of stuff here. There's like fighting game floor, shooting game floor, but probably more importantly for me, what is this? What is this? Groove Fight? Somebody I know told me about the game once. I played it briefly. Tumble Pop? It's like a game where you like have a vacuum or something and you like suck stuff up and shoot it. But there's a card game floor here, and they had Dragon Quest Crossblades there, which I had been looking for a long time, but it was not set up the first day I was there, unfortunately. So, they have these cute little stations here. They're basically like little fan stations where people. This is kind of a blurry picture. I think I've got pictures later. They're like fan stations. They have an Aikatsu one, they have a Prepara one, and I think an Idolmaster one, and people can like open up these books and leave notes and draw pictures and stuff. So I flipped through some of those and they were pretty cute. More Chase Chase Jokers. They had an actual capture card here for Chase Chase Jokers, so that was I forgot about this. Standing in that big buff man thing. They're doing a location test for Dynamite Bomb, which is like really crazy coincidence for me because I do like Dynamite Bomb, which is a DL site fighting game, so kind of a crazy thing that came across it. I mean, I knew that's coming out to Exa, but I had no idea that it would be there. So just stumbled across it. Played a little bit. Seems pretty cool. Got Annie Mosey in it still. Annie Mosey, the most important character. She's a cow gal. So, Bomber Girl elevator as well. This is actually kind of cool. I don't remember if this was at Hey. This might be somewhere else, but like it's a capsule machine, and if you get the capsule, or you go to the capsule machines back there, get a capsule, and then you just drop it in here and you play a little like maze game with it. I don't know if you get anything for doing it. This actually I think is from a different arcade that I'm looking at here right now. I believe. I could be wrong. Prepara, Dragon Quest Crossblade stuff. Hey, it was really cool. I spent most of my trip there. Okay, there's a better look at the little fan areas there. So there's like an Atokadol one that like a arcade in someplace between Nagoya and Tokyo for the name of it. Oh, and then they had little stamps here as well. So I stamped my hand with some Idolmaster character. And like over the course, I got it like the morning I was leaving Japan. So over the course of the day, I just watched her slowly disappear as I left Japan. So yeah. Third Planet was like a pretty nice little arcade outside the Sanrio Park. Maybe a nice place to go to. They had like these little doll houses, which were kind of cute, where you can kind of like take pictures of your dolls there, I think. So that was kind of cute. But this is where I first found Dragon Quest Crossblades. If you don't know, Dragon Quest Crossblades is like a game. I mean, I'll probably make a video about it, even though I don't have any direct capture. But it's like a table kind of RPG game where you get in like little arena fights, and I have cards for it actually. So it's a card game in Japan, and you can get like a character card kind of thing. I'll go into a bit more detail on this in a later thing, but so we'll create a character cards, but they're not custom cards like a Tokadol or Aikatsu or Prepara. I actually didn't see any Aikatsu machines when I was in Japan, but so they're just kind of standard cards. So you're able to like trade them around. So I got like a Yangus ultra rare character or whatever. Just bomb guy. It's based off the Dragon Quest Dai anime, so features a lot of characters in that. I didn't get any good cards for like Dai himself. I think I just got like level 1 cards for him. But you know, it's got Dragon Quest characters in it, Dragon Quest monsters as well. Cute little game. So yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. It was very dense with content, so when I started playing it, I kind of realized there's probably not gonna be a lot I could do with it with the time I had in Japan to play it, especially since I didn't really find a machine until about halfway through my trip. So, but they were pretty far around. There's a supermarket I went to play, and like I don't know. I was having trouble finding them in normal arcades, but eventually it seemed like they were kind of cropping up around different arcades. So I think maybe it's just weird timing. I think they were launching new machines and things like that in that time, and they like put out new versions, and like there's these little like things on the machines here, which were like little advertisement cards of like what's new for this season. So I think this is season 4. I think this is a season 5. Yeah. So this is season 4 when I first found the machine, and then like within days, season 5 launched. Yeah, it looks like on 4/27, which was in the middle of my trip. So didn't plan on that, but that's just how that happened. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So shows you a bunch of cards that you can get during that season, it looks like. So, but the big thing is that to save your progress, you need a the machine translations called it like an adventure book. I don't know if that's what this actually is. It says something set up here at the very least. Like a My Adventure set or something like that. So you need to buy one of these. It supposedly maybe only has like 400 writes on it, so it's like an IC card, and it seems like it only lets you record so many times. Usually 400 is quite a bit. You'd be paying like $350 to actually play enough for that. But the card itself is like 700 yen, so it's pretty cheap. You get that, you get a bonus draw, and you also get your own character that you can use and gear up. And if you are going to play this when you're in Japan, I would highly recommend, if you're going to play it for any significant amount of time, try to get this. The website has a list of arcades that says if it's like if they have these cards to sell. Yeah, and as far as I can tell, most machines support using the cards. So I would recommend that if you're going to play it for any significant period of time. But if you're not going to, you can just play it using the standard cards if you want. But it kind of defeats the purpose of it to some extent. A lot of games in Japan for arcade nowadays are service-based games that expect you to keep progress and come back. And so if you just play it briefly, you usually have a hard time kind of finding a lot to get out of it. So I think we're kind of wrapping up here. Arcades, buildings, critical hit, doujin. I'm gonna skip the food. Food is good and all. Let me skim. Is there any food that's like really relevant to us? I don't think so. I'm gonna skip the food stuff. Sorry. I'm getting kind of tired at the end of all this, so we'll wrap that up there with that at the very least. I did get Japanese pizza though, which was kind of fun. I went to Pizza La. Here's me sitting at a Pizza La. My friend asked me what I was like. I forget what some weird question came up about like, what are you doing when I was ordering pizza? And I was like, sitting at the Pizza La. Let me just grab a few more things here, and we'll just kind of go over them real quick. Oh, there is a food thing I do want to touch on actually, so I'll go back to that here in a little bit. But before that, just kind of go over some of these things I have over here real quick. One is I did find in Lashinbang some Buddy Mission Bond Doujin, which is pretty cool. I'm most interested, I have not looked at it yet, but this one, which is Buddy Mission Bond in University. So I assume they are university students, but Mokuma is a old man, so he's the janitor, which I thought was kind of funny. I mostly like Chelsea and Mokuma, so that was my main focus on what I picked up there. And I feel like most of the Eren and Luke books were R18. And I don't really have a problem with R18 books, but I just don't have a real interest in them either. So I ended up skipping out on them. When I was in Japan, a friend of mine thankfully received this for me, which is an old Comiket book from Comiket 48 in 1995. The whole reason I picked this up is because on the back, Rolfie, if you did not know, NEC was there with Rolfie on the second floor apparently. I flipped through to see if there's any PCFX relevant information inside of it, and it does not seem to be the case. But as you can see, this is a thick book, so there could be a chance that there is something in there. But in the areas I expected to see things, I did not see anything. I got some really cheap Wii remotes of some colors that I've never had before. We got a blue Wii remote for about $5. We got a pink Wii remote for about $5. And we got a red nunchuck for about $3. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do not have a red Wii remote, so this is not going to pair with anything. And I haven't looked at these yet. These are used Wii remotes. But again, generally in Japan, like I usually expect like a pretty decent quality when it comes to used stuff. So I think we'll call it for that for when it comes to the physical stuff. The last thing, I had a thought on some food stuff I did want to show you guys, actually. We did get to the Sanrio stuff earlier, but I went to the Square Enix Cafe. Let me see if I can find that. Square Enix Cafe. They had a Event for Sino Alice. I think that game's shutting down. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. And it was a gacha food event. So you just kind of paid for your food and you got what you wanted. I did not see I do not know what the rest of these options were. So I just picked the gacha food event. I mean, that's the funner thing to do anyways, right? So I ended up getting some like beet chips with nacho cheese or whatever. Some Sino Alice character on like a little cracker with mayonnaise or something like that. I also got like this blue blackberry drink or something like that. That was like a separate gacha thing that I did. It came with, so it's like the dolls or whatever in there, and the cafe kind of was like, dressed up in some fun ways. Usually when I go to the Square Enix Cafe, I have no idea what it is that's there, which is kind of, or like I don't know anything about it. It's like Octopath Traveler last time. So I mostly just kind of show up. There's some ice cream and some takoyaki. But I did get like a coaster, which I gave away to somebody, which features this little girl on it. I don't know any of these characters. And then I have this placemat, which I'm keeping right now. I don't really have a place for it, but I do like her design a lot, actually. I kind of like both their designs a lot, actually. So I got a little bent up because it was really windy and I did not have anything to keep it in because that was the day that I was going to the airport. So I didn't have any bags with me, really. So this is not the Pizza La pizza. This is another pizza I got. It's just pretty all right. I don't know why I pulled that up. I went to a cafe, some kind of character cafe. You guys can tell me if these are actual characters for something. I don't know. But I got a blood orange sherbet thing, which was pretty good. I liked that. Real Gold is the best Japanese vitamin drink you can ever have, so I highly recommend it. Although it was one-upped, actually, so I'm lying that the original Real Gold was not my favorite this time around. My favorite this time around was Rock Energy Real Gold, which featured special spices and some collaboration with some dude I don't know, but had special spice mix, and that was really good. I don't know if it's how limited it is, if it's limited forever, I don't know, but I highly recommend that. I got the One Piece hamburger from McDonald's. This is a bad picture. This is at the airport. I don't really plan to go to those kind of fast food places when I'm in Japan, so I only get it because it's like one of the last places I could go to being in the airport kind of thing, right? So yeah. Anything else that is relevant food-wise? I posted this on Twitter, but I got a Freedom Energy drink. This is like by Sayama Lake or whatever. It was fine. It tastes like most of the vitamin drinks in Japan taste basically the same. I mean, Real Golds taste very similar to them as well, but I like it better. Oh, I think this is the Pizza La Pizza. Yeah. So this is like shrimp and... I don't know, shrimp and something. This is like hot dogs and... Gosh, I don't remember. Hot dogs and bacon, maybe? This is like corn and ham. And I think this is like potato. Yeah, potato. It's pretty good. I don't have any strong affection for Japanese pizza, but I think it is still good pizza. And I would recommend it. But, I know some people are kind of have hang-ups on those kind of things. So, what is this thing? I don't remember this thing. Oh, it's like an apple parfait that was pretty good. It also had like apple chunks down there in the ice cream. I got this at Nagoya Castle. I think this is like dried octopus or something like that. And then it had an egg with like some stuff on it. It's kind of weird. I didn't really understand how to eat it. I just kind of ate the egg first and then ate the rest of it separately. I don't know if you're supposed to do anything with it, but it's just like there's no plate. It's just kind of in your hand. So that's just kind of all you did. I'm going to skip all the bread. I did eat a lot of bread while I was there. What is this thing? Oh, that's that thing again. Oh, should definitely show you guys the Shinkansen curry. This is at a really interesting like train shop when I was in Japan. This is a kid's meal, and the curry was like very not spicy because of that, but I just thought it was so cute that I was like, I just got to try it. I just gotta try it. And like, there's like a train that like the food comes out on. It's very silly. It's like a very train themed restaurant. The whole interior kind of feels like a train as well. There's like an ad for it too as well. So yeah, like there's this little train that like goes around, and your food rides on the train as you kind of goes around the diner. Do I have a video of that? I do have video of that. I just don't know if I have it quickly available. You know what? There are people in these videos, and I do not know if they want their faces shown, so I'm not going to show it. But just know it was a very cute train thing. Some Denny's food. Oh, this is like a little cinema roll donut. It was not particularly good, I will say, but it was fine. It was from Floresta. It was like a special collaboration thing they had going on there. I will say I did go to like Moss Burger. Let me see if I can find that. Moss Burger had a really good like a yakiniku burger with like a rice thing. I really enjoyed that. That was very tasty. For that. Yeah, I think I'm just rambling about food at this point. So I think that's probably good. And I think I'll probably just leave it at that. I mean, there's definitely more things I could like look at and tell you guys about, but this is a long video already. Over 2 hours, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember if I have any like stuff I recorded and then cut. So, but yeah. So it was a fun event. There's a lot of things I did there. But being around Tokyo just kind of meandered about in various places. So, but it was a good time, and I'm glad I went. And if you have the capability to do so, I would definitely encourage you to take a trip to Japan if you get time too. Definitely an experience, and an experience I recommend. I am tired. I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule. If you don't know, coming back from Japan, I went through many phases of bad sleep. I am kind of on a good sleep schedule now, but I'm like kind of still a little bit behind. So like, even though it's like 9 o'clock at night, I feel like it's like 2 in the morning, which honestly is not a bad thing. I probably should go to bed earlier more often. So, I got to clean up all this stuff. I don't know if I'll clean it up tonight though, but, yeah, that was it. So thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, probably not going to do a lot of heavy editing on this, but I mean, you guys already know at this point. So, but yeah. So anyways, good time. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and hope you guys have a great week. Bye.